Good morning, world. My name is Matt in a Hat, and today we are back with some more Pathfinder 2 Kingmaker. And we are going to, as always, have our wonderful players with us. We have one who is a little bit late and quite ill, so he may or may not be able to join us, but we're going to hope and cross our fingers that he can join us for some of it, and that will be Malkov. I'm working, buddy. You're gonna say bye, is it? Okay, well, give me one moment, guys.
Sorry.
You're okay, I just started. We just started. See ya. You take that one. There you go. Bye. Okay. You enjoy. Bye-bye. Bye. You go with Mum. Go with Mum. There you go.
Bye.
Good boy.
Goodbye.
Alright.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So, yeah. That will be Malkov, and hopefully he's able to join us. We'll do our best to have him here. But if he's too ill, this is life. We want to recognize and honor him first. People first in this channel and with this game. Without further ado, actually, before I go launching right in, I do need to say this is an adult. This is an adult game. We're gonna have some violence. We're gonna have some adult situations and some adult language. You've been warned. And if you are not an adult, we would kindly ask you to either move on or just cater into yourself that is going to be happening, because yeah, and there might be some blood and gore and all sorts of things. Snug Leona, it's been a long time since I've seen you. Hello. Yeah, and welcome in, King J. Great to see you as always. I'm going to jump over to the screen with all of our players. Here we are. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
We've just, some of us have just come out of Gen Con, so there's been some cool stuff going on. Very packed event over there in America, I've heard. So all sorts of fun. Let's talk about where we're up to, what we've been doing, what our characters are thinking and feeling. And we will launch right into the game here. What do you guys remember from last time?
Not a dragon is making kobolds slave away for his nefarious deeds.
Suddenly we're really sure that it's not a dragon.
See, and
he didn't come out to being insulted.
Yeah,
no dragon would stand for that.
When I went back and rewatched, I was like, "This is bull! Like, no way! There's no way!" Like, Azura was like laying the insults on thick ass, and the dragon wasn't budging.
Right?
There's no way he's a dragon.
Okay. Well, the players feel this. Whether the characters do or not is another matter. Certainly, our characters have done some thinking, tapping of their minds to remember who this Meseverax figure might be, and we have remembered wrongly.
That's the right word. Remember, sure.
With, I believe, a natural one. But the characters don't know that. That Meseverax is this legendary dragon who swims up and down rivers and steals away maidens in the night. And when Meseverax was questioned about a particular maiden, he's like, "Oh, I've known many women, and she was delicious." And that really aggravated Malkov's character, Rezkin, because it was his person that he trusted, and yeah, so that happened. But we've seen that the kobolds are revering this Messeverax, who is purportedly a dragon. Who knows? Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but as we've said, we have our doubts right now. But he is holed up in the Tatzelworm den, where the Tatzelworms are on spikes, dead and wound up. And we heard from the kobolds and from him that a group of gnomes had been attacked. These kobolds had obeyed Messeverax's order to attack this gnomish caravan, and that they're in distress. The kobolds stole some stuff and brought it back and injured some gnomes, and we're like, we've heard about these gnomes. Maybe we should go check that out. Maybe we should go and try and help them. Anything else that we want to mention before we head off as far as what happened last time?
To clarify, we didn't know where the gnomes were earlier, or that they were in distress. Now that we know that, they've become a priority, because we know they are in distress, and now we know where they're at. Before, we knew they were somewhere in the west. Now we know they're down.
Yeah, we knew that they were wandering around these areas, and we weren't sure exactly where they were. But now we know that they're either going to be here or here, somewhere in this general direction.
We know they're not here.
Right, when they're not in the Staglor's
form.
Here
or here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's what we were told.
Yeah, somewhere to the southeast. And so we're kind of doubling back a little bit, but that sounds like something that we're very interested in looking at. So that's where we're headed.
Yes.
So do we want to go directly southeast to start? Is that where we want to go? Or do you guys want to do anything? The game is in your hands, guys.
Go here.
Yeah, follow the river.
You guys agree?
Don't forget about the cave that you all believe the potion was used on purpose to enlarge the spider. Thank you, King J. Yes. We did have a very unnaturally enlarged spider who had been
samples.
And something that you don't know, as unless you watched the whole thing back. Did you watch the whole thing back? Yeah, so you will have known that right at the end when you had left, that your character pieced together some of the vials, and it turned out that the vial was about double the size of a normal vial, and you came to one of two conclusions. One, this was made on purpose to hold more liquid to do this, or two, it was made and used by a large creature.
Yep. I remember that part.
What you do, we really appreciate that.
That's what led us back to Merciverax. What's his name?
Yeah.
Not a dragon.
Thank you.
Not a dragon.
The whatever it is in the water that's pretending to be a dragon.
Yeah. I love this.
Yeah.
If it turns out to be a dragon, you guys are going to be like, what?
Yeah, we will.
We are traveling to the southeast. And so, as we do that, perception and survival checks as we enter into a part of the land that we haven't explored before. And if we don't mind, I might get those of you that can to have a look, keep an eye on the Kingmaker campaign chat, see if there's any response there. If you don't see Malkov, hopefully he's able to just at least say something.
He's here.
He's here.
Oh, you're here.
Can you not hear me?
Now I can.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if you were muted or if I lost it. I'm sorry.
I just didn't want to interrupt.
No, you're good. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And I said earlier that I probably, just to help you out, we can slightly reduce spotlighting on you so that you can conserve what voice you've got. But yeah, it's good to have you here. Thank you for being here, even though you're sick. All right, so yeah, we're going down there. We've got some decent checks. Excellent. Especially Lucas. Lucas is wide-eyed. Reskin is too. Great. Okay, so...
Do you want both checks?
No, it's typically when I ask for this, for exploration, you can choose which one, and then if there's something else you want to do instead, you can always say. It's okay that you've rolled more than one. Like, I'm not upset about it. So we were just sorting it out.
Do you mean to private it? For private that?
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine if it's private.
Okay.
All right.
So, was I actually present, like at the dragon, quote unquote?
Your character was.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But we're not there anymore, right?
No, we've left.
Okay, all right, no worries. That's fine. I was gonna check the water, but we're all good.
Well, you can check the water as we're going downstream, right? So anything that might be there, because we're going downstream, probably will.
I just wanted to check, like, I just wanted to do like detect magic on the water.
Do you have access to the spell?
Or just make an Arcana check, I guess.
Yeah, you can make an Arcana check to see what you can tell. It doesn't detect magic with this, but you can. Okay. So you reach out your arcane senses, without detecting magic. It's a river, and what you can tell is that there is quite a lot of mud or detritus that is being washed down this particular section of river. More than you would expect to be. Rivers tend to wash mud and detritus fairly quickly to the direction that they are or to the banks of them. Seems like there might be more than you would naturally expect. But there's nothing magical necessarily that you pick up. It's just something, I guess, that's a little odd. And your arcane check can direct itself towards some of that mud and detritus. There is a very, very faint, odd signature in that, whether it's arcane or some other residual magic, you are not entirely sure. There is something not entirely natural about it. But again, yeah. All right. So, yeah. Any other questions surrounding that? Do you want to point that out to your companion?
Yeah, I'll point it out to Tarnal, and because all of them actually, like that. This isn't altogether like the way nature would intend for it to be, and just whatever I gather from it. If anybody wants to have a look, you're welcome to.
Well, I mean, if something upstream's wrecking and breaking shit, there's going to be more detritus in the water from what it's busting up and not letting go by and things like that as well. So, dragon or not, we know it's something in the water that's being a pain in the ass.
Well, when we were encountering it, wasn't there like a sort of pseudo dam?
There wasn't a dam. It was, I guess, an offshoot of the river So there was the main river that kind of went behind. There was a section of land or risen up land, and then a smaller section like a stream on offshoot of the water. It was a natural occurrence, primarily. Maybe it has been worked after, like, upon seeing it, but mostly a natural. So close to a dam. It's not quite a dam.
Diverting a part of the river.
Yeah, just a little stream coming off the wider. Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to find a map here. My list up here. I know I loaded it last time. Sometimes the navigation to some of these things can be... There it is. Found it. Like, which thing do I click on?
There's a lot. I have the whole module. I've looked at it. It's a beast. There's a whole lot.
Now, I don't think we have our tokens here. I'm going to populate this with our tokens. We're going to unpause. So I'm going to describe this while I populate this with your tokens, guys. So the river makes a sharp bend, widening into a deep pool dotted with lily pads and fringed by waving reeds. 3 freshly felled trees lie beside their stumps on the shore of the pool, their crowns dangling in the water among fading tendrils of mist.
Okay.
So that's what you can see. You see a number of people as well. Let me just populate you here into the map. Okay. I'm going to have you on this side of the river. Yeah, the river comes down and empties into this pond. And you see people on the other side. They have hatchets and axes, clearly designed as tools rather than fighting implements, but you could fight with them. They're not like war axes or anything like that. They are definitely tool axes.
The logging crew.
Yeah, woodmen, loggers.
They are standing with their arms either crossed or on their hips. They're shaking their heads. They have raised voices. They seem, at first glance, to be potentially angry, pointing up and down, gesticulating in a fairly aggressive manner.
They're yelling back and forth at each other.
Yes.
Can we tell what language they're speaking from here?
They seem to be speaking in common, as far as you can tell. You'd have to listen in to hear exactly what they're saying, but there seems to be an argument ensuing.
I'd like to avoid notice.
Sure.
Try and get closer and listen in.
Yeah, because they're kind of like pointing up and down. They haven't quite seen you yet. But as some of you approach without avoiding notice, a couple of them will turn and point you out.
What were they talking about?
Yeah, Kessler would say something, but I was waiting till everyone else was done. So he moves up and hollers to them. But when you're done with the other stuff.
Yep. All right. So one of the figures will stand. Some of the others sort of like mill around. He comes forward, and he hails you across the river. So that's this guy here. He hails you, and he's like, "Hail, well met. We have quite the problem here. Not sure if you are friend or foe, but you look like you can handle yourselves. We have come upon an issue here. Damnable fairies in the woods that are making our logging attempts all but safe."
Well, since we are the owners of this land, I ask you if you're friend or foe.
Says we are simple loggers.
And what are you logging for and for whom? Typically, timber is used and sent somewhere.
He says, well, my name's Corax. There's this wonderful grove of coachwood trees in this glade, and we are a band of freelance loggers under my leadership. We intend on packaging these coachwood trees and making some profit off them. I was unaware that anyone owns this land, and if indeed you have a writ for that, I am happy to see that.
Do we have paperwork to back up that we've claimed this hex?
We have not claimed this hex.
We haven't claimed this hex, but we do have claim on this land from Lady Jamandi.
So it's an area that we've yet to explore, or that we're exploring right now. We haven't laid an official claim to it or extended ourselves this far, but our borders extend this far as where we can.
That's what I was meaning, is that we basically have given authorization of this region. It's close enough that it falls within our jurisdiction, essentially.
Yeah. He further, says it's hard enough for a decent man to make a living out here without all these damnable fairies in the wood.
We already made friends.
Well, have you tried to negotiate with the fairies, or do you just go to war with them?
He claims that him and his workers here were forcibly attacked by this fairy. That fairy made hostile intentions known and hostile actions known.
Is he lying or telling the truth?
Make a perception check to try and ascertain his body language. You don't know this man, so you don't have a long history with this, but you might be able to see if when he says this, his body language is consistent with other things that he's saying. As far as you can tell at this stage, he is definitely angry, and he definitely seems to at least believe what he's saying to you. Seems consistent. But at the other side of it, he is rather angry, so maybe things are being Maybe there's something else to that, but at this stage, seems up and up.
Do we have our writ on us from Lady Jamandi? Or would that be at the keep?
I would think that would be at the keep. That's actually where we're enshrined as our claim.
Okay.
I wouldn't be carrying it around
But-
with us.
Yeah,
Maybe
I imagine.
copies of
Yeah, I
it,
imagine
or
maybe
badges
you've made
or
a copy or something.
Okay.
But
So
the
we have a
actual-
copy?
Yeah, you can have a copy.
Yeah.
So I will say, if you wish to come over here, Korax, I can show you our ownership of the surrounding areas as bestowed upon us by Lady Jamandi and the Council of Bravoy.
Okay.
We have received sponsorship and ownership of these lands.
He says, "All right, show us the fucking thing."
Hold on.
Alright, and so yeah, he'll jump over.
Base from the Stag Lord's fortress, which we have cleared.
His eyebrow raises. Says, "Hey boys." This one claims he's cleared out the Stag Lord. Oh, really? They start to like talk one the other. A couple of them come around and pat you on the back and say, "Oh, good job. We were having trouble with those bandits. They took quite a few of our earnings. Don't know how you managed it, but you certainly look capable."
It's my
As I
my
said,
19
We
diplomacy.
were
help.
sponsored to claim this land, and that is exactly what we've done.
So the diplomacy of 19. So what is your intention?
Just to smooth out the situation, kind of like mediate.
As you like try and solve the situation, you hear and see the water moving, and a figure emerges from the water at some distance down here. She rises out of the water. Meliance here is a small figure. So perhaps the size of a halfling or a gnome. Has long, flowing, sort of seaweed-like hair. She has leaf sort of attire and flowers affixed to it. Skin is blue. She has long ears and webbed feet and webbed hands. Rises from water. And she gestures her hands forward and open like this and pulls them open in a gesture of friendliness, and she smiles and she says, "These are very interesting claims that they are making.
Well, I thank you. Do you wish to see the document as well?
That is not necessary."
Very well. And you are?
My name is Meliance. I have lived here in this pond for nary a while. And I asked these men, these loggers, these foul-mouthed crows to politely leave, as this is my abode. But I was forced to, well, I will admit to this. I enchanted two of his men At this, she gestures with her hand, and 2 men will appear here. And they seem to be just looking at her, potentially entranced, but not compelled to do anything just at the moment, just looking at her.
I see.
She says, I did this because this man threatened to hang me from the nearest tree to, and I quote, drip dry.
Corax, is that correct?
Ah, she can go fuck off. She's enchanted
Hold
my
on.
man.
This is an intimidation. Compelling him to be honest and forthright, or I will break every bone in his body.
Settle down.
Yeah.
Settle down.
Hey, you know me.
That's why I'm telling you to settle down.
Kassur absolutely wants justice.
So as you say this, she says, before he's got a chance to respond, she says, yeah, every bone in your body. Like that. and then...
Did we cross the river entirely there?
Let's say that it does, alright? Let's say that.
With the tree?
And he will step back and join his men. So on a natural 20 with a 30, he is thoroughly intimidated. He will stumble back into his men. He will fall over in his bluster. And you hear a squelching sound because it's kind of soft ground here, being so close to the river. And he has a muddy behind due to this fall. And he says, well, yeah, I did say that. So fucking what?
I moved back to Tarnal, like right next to Tarnal, and I whisper, "Why does he always fucking do this?"
It's in his nature, unfortunately.
You will depart at once. Any contract you have to attempt to get lumber will go to the remaining men here, and we'll deal with them and this fine lady as to what shall be done. You are henceforth banished from this land if you do wish to be such hostile in these lands. Or you can make amends.
What? What? You what?
I just sit down. I just find a log and I sit down and I put my hands in I put my head in my hands and I just let him be Kassur.
He says, so you're going to let her control these men of mine? They must come with me.
She will release them. Your men may stay, and I will talk with them about what they're able to do. You, on the other hand, are not.
His men are going to stay without him.
Nope.
They can join our employ, technically, if they wish. For it was not them who caused problems, but you, Corax. You're an example of what is filthy with civilization, not what is just.
So, he seems thoroughly intimidated. The other men pick him up, dust him off. They sort of gather around him and they start to like whisper like to him and be like, Like this.
I'm gonna.
Belazane, would you go ahead and release those men as a sign of good faith?
He says as
Darnell,
long
what are you
as...
saying?
Darnell?
I'm just gonna simply watch the back and forth with this. He's intimidated one.
Yeah.
I look back at Lucas and goes, he wants to enforce his will wherever he goes. It's kind of the way that he is. And I'm going to step up forward and I'm going to kind of look. How long have they been logging here, madame?
It just says recently, so maybe a few days to a week, yeah.
And is there somewhere specific that they could go where they would not be disturbing you? Perhaps a section that can be logged out or needs to be removed.
She says, why, actually, yes. They declare that they want Coachwood, is that right? She sort of flits back defensively when he sort of says this, almost an accusation. Red-faced and blustery, Korax will sort of emerge from his group of men. You can see that his hand has been creeping towards his weapon, right? Like, but he's like, yes, what of it? She says, well, if you had have, paid attention when I first politely asked you to, you would remember that I actually declared that about 10 miles to the north, upriver, there is a grove of coachwood trees there, which doesn't have an occupant right there, and whose trees haven't been growing under their care for the last 200 years, which you could safely log.
So she already pointed you out a better place that you could go that you weren't going to up, and you still acted like that? Why? So that you could get your men expelled, maybe lose a few of them and not have to pay them? It seemed like the greatest of bosses to me. I honestly think Kassur's right in this situation.
He says, well, I didn't know that she was going to enchant my men. I was just here to do a job. And maybe I didn't pay attention. And he, crosses his arms, and he's really defensive, and he's hoofy. banging the mud with his...
behind this foul fellow. Do you really wish your lives to be forfeit by someone who doesn't appreciate your existence?
They say, what do you mean?
Or would you rather find a different contract to, provide yourselves with a suitable career without someone who apparently doesn't appreciate you?
They disagree with you. They say that Korax has led them to many sources of lumber in the past, and that they have only gotten by because of his leadership.
Well, that doesn't really look good on you all.
I don't want to depose the guy. I just want to send him to somewhere where they're not trying to log out someone's home.
You can see that he is,
Yeah.
his demeanor is changing. You can see that. He is potentially embarrassed.
It should be.
Embarrassed is better than anybody being dead or severely injured or wounded. And I'm going to look over the two ensorcelled men.
You got some brown pants there, sir.
As you approach the ensorcelled men, the Nixie Meliance will wave her hands, and she will pull her hands back to her face, and she will kiss her fingers and gesture a freeing movement. Hands, and the two men will stop staring at her, will shake their heads, they will stumble, and then they will slowly make their way over to the tree and sit down and hold their heads in their hands as if they've got a massive headache.
Wouldn't surprise me if they do have a massive headache. That's what that looks like. That's blue. Those are brutal.
As they're released and they walk over and Korak sees this, he looks at you, he looks at Kasser, he looks at the group, he sees that everyone's just like deferring to Kasser at this stage. And he's like, he shakes his head and he goes, well, fine. And he doesn't pull out his weapon, he pulls out a parchment, a piece of parchment. It's got some drawings on it. They're rough, and it's a rough kind of map of sort of the area. It's very clear that he has been making this himself. And he thrusts it up into the air and says, "You bitch! Show me where this coachwood is, and we will leave you alone. Go over there. Don't think that I'm gonna be thankful, though."
Why do you have to be so crass?
You
Have some manners.
You're not sure whether he knows them, but there is a sense here that he has been embarrassed. Maybe this is false bravado.
He's doubling down on being an idiot because he was already an idiot.
So I have.
I'm gonna call him on his. I'm gonna call him on his crap. I'm gonna roll a society check here and hope that I. Oh yeah.
This guy's nothing. He's just a logger, really. He's a glorified logger. He's a lot more than they are. He's a lot more than a commoner.
Well, I'm a noble, and this is how people do. So
Yeah.
I'm going to tell them how people. I'm going to teach you something right now, sir. There are things called manners, and if you learn manners, then people will have a better opinion of you. If you treat people well, then you will be treated well.
You get the idea that he's really only interested in working. Like, he's not really interested in society. He's interested in getting paid.
Well, unfortunately, your trail in
can I
life is going to
do
be very bumpy.
a legal and mercantile check to converse with him about proper ways of making money within proper legal bounds?
Yeah.
Okay. The proper way to go about acquiring wealth under the provisions provided for by Abadar.
That's about this one my character tunes out.
Korax will also
Easy to
tune out.
understand.
As Kasser starts to like rally and start to go over, maybe he will notice, but he's probably like going into himself a little bit here. But everyone else will recognize that Korax looks sideways at his companions and has like this, oh my god, look on his face. But yeah, he doesn't really pay attention to this, what he considers to be bullshit proselytizing that Kasser is doing.
While Castor goes off on his diatribe, I'm gonna just approach the shore a little bit.
Yeah.
And greet the What is it? Is it a fae of some sort?
Yeah, so she is. Well, you don't know exactly. You could make a recall knowledge, but she's some sort of fae. That's for
What
sure.
skill would that be? Nature
It
or
would
any
be
other?
nature, yeah. That would be the best way. Okay. Yeah, you're not entirely sure. She's obviously a woman, got all the right curves, and she's obviously small and lives in the water. She's obviously aquatic. Those things are very obvious, but what that's called, you're not entirely sure, or what powers she might have. But it seems, given that she's been able to enchant these men, that she's probably a significant fae of some description.
And did she say her name? Did we hear her?
Meliance. Meliance
Yes.
is her name, and she did state it. Yes.
I'll approach her and I'll say, "Greetings, Milliance. It's nice to meet a neighbor.
She looks over to
My name is
you.
Redskin."
Says, "Oh, Reskin. That's a nice name."
Thank you.
Says, my thanks for responding in the way that you have. I am quite devastated because the trees that have been growing here, I've been tending them. Myself and my family have been tending them for over 200 years. And they have already felled 3 trees. And I'm not sure about you and your ilk, but it would behoove these. And she pauses for a moment. She says, "Fine, gentlemen, to perhaps plant new trees to replace those that they have carelessly removed."
That seems fair compensation for the destruction of your home.
He says, "I will entrust them with these 3 seeds if they agree to do. Or if they do not, then you may do so on their behalf. I am going to..."
Thank you for your lenience. It's always best to avoid bloodshed.
I'm just standing, keeping an eye on the ensorcelled men with their heads in their hands, and the rest of the group to make sure they're not just going to suddenly decide to do something stupid.
It doesn't look like they are. They're not particularly happy about the situation. But Meliance marks on their map where this area of Coachwood trees is. And those of you that are paying attention, which can be whoever you want, if you think that you would, will notice that the grove that she marks is rather close to the Tatzelworm Den where you guys were just earlier today with this dragon. Not like not right there, but close by.
I'll ask her, do you know of Miss Severax?
To Meliance,
Yeah.
she says, "Is that a place or..."
It's claims to be a dragon that lives near the location you marked.
A dragon?
It was underwater, and kobolds were worshiping it.
She looks at you.
He's up the river.
Forehead is like creased. Is like, "Oh, I don't know of a dragon. I know there's been an awful lot of detritus that has come down river to here. Spent a lot of time actually cleaning it up before these fools arrived."
When did that start?
Oh, about a week ago. Just before they arrived, I guess. And it's been happening ever since.
Is it something that has happened before, or is this a new occurrence?
Not to my knowledge.
I want to ensure to Korax and his men that they will behave themselves. I'll press upon them that. And a safe way to get to that grove to avoid our unpleasant Perseverax location. And then I would, while doing that, I will quickly whisper to Reskin and suggest he checks if she has any abilities to manipulate the water to help with our Perseverax issue.
I'll ask. Do you have control of water? Is that something you are capable of doing? Maybe we could work together to resolve this issue that's causing the detritus to come downstream to here.
She says, I have such power. I can't use it exhaustively. It takes great focus and energy.
Okay, well.
But I'm willing to help. It would mean an end to this. And she will say, just a moment, and she will dive. She'll say that he'll be right back. And she comes up, and she flicks off her hands this sticky, weird, sort of slimy substance, and she seems really grossed out by it. She flicks it onto the ground nearby so that you can investigate it, and she says, this is what it looks like. Have a look. See what you can find out.
It looks like a big ball of snot.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'll turn and look at our investigator and go, you get to touch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna examine
While you're doing
my
that,
eyeballs only.
I will dismiss Korax and his fellows to go the safe route and deal after they plant the 3 trees.
He lets out a
Dismiss
big
them.
sigh, and he's like, oh, fine, thank you, I guess. Come on, boys.
I expect to have your manners improve if you ever return to these areas.
As he walks away, he spits on the ground.
He just needs to have him flogged.
A javelin lands right between his feet.
He breaks out into a
then
small
vanishes.
jog.
Don't be throwing weapons at him, Kessler. Come on.
I didn't
Alright.
throw it at him. I threw it at the ground.
They
Close
You know I would.
they head off.
And no, I don't believe that you would hit. You wouldn't roll a 10 or higher.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I wish you were. No, but I was going to try to negotiate with them and stuff and then see if we get them to work with us, but
I mean, maybe depending on how everything else goes, but there you can see that there's some sort of appreciation. You know, he's hiding behind false bravado, right? So this talk, this, he's trying to look tough before his men. He doesn't know that he's just making himself look like a fool, right? To you, at least. The men seem impressed by him still. Even
I will
through
whisper
all
in
of
his
this.
ear. Before
he's
he
here.
leaves and does the whole spitting thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, before he did the spitting thing, if he'll conduct himself better, decent wealth could be made because we're looking to expand our operations and acquire some timber. If he can learn to be polite.
Yeah. At this stage, you probably wouldn't get through the whole sentence. He would just be like meing to you, trying to look strong and bully. But maybe he'll remember this down the track. Have that be skin of what happens at this stage, and maybe you will find him again. So after he leaves, Meliance will spend some time like diving and sort of washing herself after she physically handled this glob of snot.
Investigator.
What is that?
What is this?
Oh, let's look. Nature check, right?
Yep. Oh boy.
Hello.
Okay.
Howdy.
I'm assuming that you get right into business here, Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
With that check, Lucas dives right into this.
I'm listening in, but I'll be right back. I gotta figure out why there's some noise of trouble.
Yeah.
So the exact chemical composition is as follows. Exactly, yeah. I have those in my notes, totally. That's something that is definitely written down.
So how does it taste?
Let me get my microscope out.
Like burnt pineapple.
So, yeah, primarily, what you have is definitely mucus, Azrael, Lucas. But there's a few other things going on. As you peel away the layers of stickiness and gunk, you find a singular scale. It matches the coloration and thickness of the scales of the kobolds that were worshipping Meseverax.
It's kobold snot.
It is inside, buried into the snot. You think in this moment that he has ejected the remains of said kobold out of his body after ingesting him. You remember a certain Casseur pushing a certain kobold into the river. And you think that this is part of that kobold's remains. In addition to it being snot, it is very... Like, snot is dirty anyway, but it's dirty snot. It is coated in gross, heavy saliva that is still sticking to it after being washed downstream. Like, gross.
Oil and water.
And
this is really viscous.
In addition, you poke around with it, and due to some of your other investigations, you have a sinking feeling in relation to you see all of this going on, and you remember identifying the liquid in the pools in the cave. The pools in the cave had a liquid of enlarge, and they also had a liquid of a troll hound. And this is very similar to that. Whether it's exactly a troll hound or not, you're unsure, but it is similar enough to be potentially of the same species or related in some description to that in some way.
Really
So a troll or a troll hound.
Do
Really
trolls live underwater? Any trolls live underwater?
Is this would a crafting check help or
A crafting check might determine what this could be used for.
Okay.
But it won't tell you anything more about it.
Okay, no worries. I explained this, my process and everything, and what I came up with to everybody.
There will be something else because you rolled a critical success. Rolled in to the mucus, there is somehow a pellet of manure.
So shit and snot. Oh, lovely.
It's everything. You don't know how this has come out of someone, all in the one thing. But you don't ever want to go near it ever again.
I go wash my hands in the. I go wash my hands in the lake.
Yeah. As you go to like put your hands in the water, like Meliance comes out of the water and she like scoops up water in her hands, and then she like grabs a bit of the tree and like hollows it out and makes a little bowl, and then hands you the little bit of dead tree with the liquid in it, and she says, "Please don't put that back in the water."
I'm sorry, milady. Thank you for the water, milady.
Oh man.
Very gross.
So I think the Nada dragon is more of a
Snot dragon.
troll.
Snot a dragon.
Like a really big snot troll.
But that
Snotty
begs the
troll.
question:
Troll.
how, if it is a troll, how the heck was it doing what it was doing? It made a rudimentary water dragon for you to look at. Like, what?
This thing knows some magics.
Yeah, and I've looked up some of those magics back and forth. They're further up there, unless that was totally an illusion. Which I don't know. I didn't
Which you
physically
don't
interact
know.
with it.
What about alchemy?
I'm not trying to make something to blow up a bomb. No bombs. Why? That's that's
because
the
we had that
extent of my knowledge of alchemy.
potion of enlarge that we found. Is this troll creature making potions?
It's possible. I mean, the container was double the size of a normal vial, so it's very possible that a large creature made that to hold.
Like a troll.
Yeah, like a troll.
Large.
Yeah, it's always possible.
Still, intelligent troll if it can do that.
I don't know what it is, but it's definitely a problem close by.
Yeah.
She says, if you can sort that out, I will be very grateful. And it's just pouring this ichor into my lake. Really not, conducive to being clean, she says.
Well,
Of course.
I say we give it a little bit of time, and then we backtrack the logging group until he gets attacked by whatever's going to attack them for trespassing.
Korax gets what he deserves.
Well, Methorax will come out to go start yelling at them, and then we'll just deal with whatever it is. We did get a full night's rest at some point, did we not?
Yeah, we should be fully rested.
We're full up.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Because I'm full up and I'm always hurt.
She says,
Because I'm always trying to do it myself.
in relation to helping you out, he says, look, I do have things to do here. She says, what I could do is I could cast a spell on you that allows you to breathe underwater. It's about the best that I could do. In addition, if these trees manage to be planted successfully, and if you get rid of the threat, I will agree to teach you a ritual.
Ooh.
Rituals are fun.
Yes, please. Let's go plant these trees and do a deal with this problem.
She says
I thought we had the people plan them before they left. If not, we can do it. I got no problem.
They didn't stick around to do that.
Yeah, they were like, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah, they left.
Okay.
So potentially finding a place to do that, doing so in a sensitive manner might be something that we look into. But at this stage, we have 3 seeds that we could plant at our leisure. Or in addition, she will ask you for one of your vials, which you can hand over to her, and she will dive underwater. You won't see what she does, but basically she will cast water breathing into the vial, bring it back up, and she says that all you need to do is throw the vial down and shatter it, and then take a big deep breath. It will cover 5 people. There are only 4 of you, and if you take a big deep breath, you have to be like adjacent to one another. You have to be right there. So throw it in the middle, much like Baldur's Gate, right there.
Mhm.
Take a big deep breath. He says preferably have been breathing out while you've been preparing yourself so that you can take the biggest breath possible. And when you take that breath, you will be charged with water breathing. It will last 1 hour, and then it will cease. If I cast it on you now, she says, you'll have it for an hour, and then it will wear off. So putting it in this vial with these instructions.
The better option.
Thank you, my lady.
We thank you.
Does she have an ideal location she'd like these trees planted?
So you get the picture that within a mile of this location will be alright. She probably prefers somewhere around the lake because that's where trees were. There's not a lot of space for that, but potentially maybe upriver, downriver, like that near the water.
You can do that.
What about one here and one here where there's space?
So you'll need to basically, it's up to you how far you want to go. You can just decide this is where we want to do it without making any further checks. But potentially, yeah.
No. I'd want to do a nature check or something. Have us actually try to plant them in a good spot.
Okay.
I'm just not good at that.
Yeah.
19.
Neither am I.
I had a 9, so I got 19.
19's alright. So yeah, Lucas thinks about it. You take some time with him to look around. So I'm just gonna tick off some time here as you guys look around and find suitable locations for each of these trees. It takes about half an hour per seed. So you take about 90 minutes to do all of this on top of, just writing yourself. So it's taken about 2 hours in this location with her to she's very appreciative. So jump over here. Take this hour. And took you 3 hours to get here, and another 2 hours. It's gonna be nearly noon.
If we find it getting near dark, I would say we ask her if she's okay if we camp near here.
Oh, it's nowhere near dark. You've got about 8 or
Okay.
9 hours before it's going to get dark. It's in the middle
Okay.
of summer at the moment, so the days are pretty long.
Okay.
So yeah, you spend that time, do that, have a bite to eat maybe before you head off. You've got the vial of water breathing, and I'll activate this, and I will go in here, and we will figure ownership to observer for that, and you will see those details. As you plant the trees, she will be watching on, and she says, in order to speed these plants, these trees along, it would be best if they are accompanied with feather tokens, which she doesn't have. He says there is another, not of my kind, but a dryad, Tyresia. She's in the northwest. Who might have some feather tokens. And if you came back to plant the feather tokens with the seeds, that would ensure that they are healthy and strong.
I see.
We'll mark
And
the
where
location.
is the feather
They look
tokens?
like circles of stones or something.
So it is KL.
So yeah, definitely, as Reskin said, mark where our intended locations are with. That's where we'll come back to.
Yeah. Just so I will mark this on the map for us. So let's grab freehand drawing. So here is where the feather tokens are going to be, and I'll just put we are, given that we didn't find gnomes here, they are likely to be in this hex. Slightly opposite directions there, but that's okay.
So gnome, and then did you say, what did she say that the person over here was?
Dryad.
Dryad.
Yeah.
So gnomes, then dryad.
That's what seems to be the most pressing. Yeah, the dryad can wait. It's just getting something to help those plants. Trees.
Okay. Gnomes, dryad, Messeverix.
Yep. It's going to take you a few hours to travel. I will get you all to either roll survival or perception as you enter into a new hex, please. Oh, wow.
Sorry, I had to run the other room real quick. What are we rolling?
Perception survival, new hex.
Yeah, just one of the two. Looks like we've got 3 perceptions. And 1 survival. Perfect. Well done. Kassur is stewing over this bloody man who wouldn't really listen to reason and who spat on the ground as he walked away. Just like, that guy. At least he listened to reason and didn't fight us, I guess. Stupid idiot. Alright.
I am
I
laser
wonder if the
focused.
others would have behaved more civilly if the leader was beheaded.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they would have fought.
No, not likely.
Yeah, no, they would have fought us.
Whether we were impressed by him or not, his men were impressed by him, and that's all that mattered.
Yep.
That's why he couldn't back down. He had to save face in front of them.
So, as you explore to the east, the sound of unintelligible cursing echoes through the woods. Just visible through a set of trees, a small wagon sits mired in the middle of a swiftly flowing river as the waters threaten to overlap the wagon's sides. Two ponies hitched to the wagon flounder and thrash in the swirling waters, close to panicking. Two more wagons sit safely on the far bank.
I want to try to calm the horses.
That's what we were saying.
It's water. I'll go last.
You also... Well...
Kasor, can you do anything with the cart?
You see a bunch of gnomes who are milling about trying to do something about this situation and clearly are unable. The most significant gnome, due to his incessant speaking, he just keeps on talking. It's like, you go over here and do this, and you have to hitch the doohickey to the, and he keeps like just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. He doesn't stop.
Excuse
And
me.
yeah, so that's the one that you notice the most. Let me just get something right. Okay.
Yeah, he looks it. Fellow man of science.
Hmm. So you're clearing your throat and introducing yourselves.
Are the ponies in danger of drowning?
That's
Yes. They are.
No.
They are severe.
No,
Help the wagon, Kasur.
So right now,
After you.
the ponies are still hitched to the wagon, right? They are floundering and thrashing in swirling waters, and you can see that they are tiring. And they're also close to panicking. So they've got two things going on. They're getting exhausted and they're getting panicked. And they're tied to the wagon. Or hitched.
How deep does the water look?
4 feet, 5 feet.
The river is threatening to overlap the sides of the wagon. It is a covered-in wagon,
Okay, so
and
it's
it is so significant.
swimming.
Yes.
You're not going to walk across it. So I would say we get our ropes and lash them to this cart and use our 4 horses that we're on to drag it out.
Okay.
That
It's
would
not a
make the
circle.
most sense. Otherwise, we're not pushing this thing out by
No.
walking behind it and pushing it, unless you know how to breathe water. And we
Hey,
only got
you know
one of
what?
those.
I mean, we could do that, but
We only got one of those.
The gnome who's been talking will pipe up when you say about that, right? It says, it would take a person of great learned plenitude to be able to thoroughly be able to accomplish such a task of being just continues to like speak in
Run
Word
on
salad?
sentence.
Just throw word salad out.
yeah, and the words are massive. I can't think exactly,
Sure.
but almost every second word he uses is multiple syllables, sometimes 3 or 4 or 5.
Is it a so yeah, I'd like to yeah, I mean I've got my rope out and I'd like to try and throw like
How far
throw
out
it
into
to
the river is the wagon?
Yeah, so I'm reading this here. So the situation, let us make sure. Yeah, it's the same here. So it says, here that you would need, like, assessing the situation, someone would need to swim to the stranded wagon. It is 15 feet offshore. Before it can be moved, you think you have to unhitch the ponies.
get back in a second.
And
We have to rehitch the horses to it.
yeah, like get them out at least. And then, yeah, because while they're there and distressed and doing what they're doing, it's just going to make the whole situation almost impossible. So you're going to need to, someone's going to need to probably see if they can calm the horses down that are like that. Someone's going to need to swim to start to unhitch the horses. And then you should be able to get to the next stage. But that's what that's how you've assessed the situation.
How fast flowing is this river? How treacherous does the water look?
So what is your bonus to athletics?
6.
You think that this for you should be slightly, it's around about an average check, slightly less than average check that you're going to require. But this is not something you could do without effort, not just auto success. This is something that requires effort, but you think if you, as a normal person of our ilk, will more than likely be able to do it.
Okay.
I'm not so good at necessarily calming the animals, since that tends to use a nature check that I don't have, so I can probably swim out there. But calming the animals is, yeah,
Not really in your wheelhouse.
just about a straight die roll.
You can always calm them by picking them up out of the water and throwing them.
Not while they're hitched to the.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right, you can
let's haul her
see
to the gnome.
Yeah, you can see that you don't have a lot of time. The wagon is sinking even as you're looking at it, and the horses are tiring out. They're panicking. This is all happening very, very quickly. You don't have long before it's lost.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Haul her to the gnomes. Release the horses or the ponies as I really need to drop my armor before I get out there. I tell my party to get the ropes and throw them the ropes to attach to the cart after their horses are off. And
are they trying to get it to this side, or are they trying to get it to the other side from where we are?
Either way, it's 15 feet. And they will cooperate with you the best that they can. But at this stage, when Kasser says, like, detach the thing, they're like, we're going to get swept down the river. We're not going in there. You are big enough to do that. We are not.
weave the horses out there, right out to where they're at, trying to unhook them.
Okay.
I'm
That'll
just gonna
take some checks. So I know you've been riding your horses successfully for a little bit, but doing this in a place that is going to be potentially dangerous is going to require a ride check to see how you or a command animal either. I think that's both, right? So I think we do ride for.
Yes, same thing.
Yeah. So
I don't have either of those listed underneath my core skills, or is it a
Nature.
specific action? It's a nature.
Nature.
They're nature.
If you look
actions.
under skills, there is command animal.
I did amazingly well. I'll be right back.
Tunnel nudges his horse towards the river, and the horse just turns around and walks the other direction. Nope.
I have a feeling mine's going to be about the same.
Oh boy. Oh
Told you.
boy. Yeah, both of your mounts are like looking at that, and their eyes are wide. They will.
I'm going to hand rope to Tarnal, since they're not listening, and say, tie off on the horses, and I will bring the rope out to the cart.
And can I help at all? At all?
Yeah, like you decide what you are gonna try to do, and
Yeah, I want to I'll roll a nature check to help with the horses.
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and swim out there with Kessler and try to unhitch the ponies.
Okay. Yes, sir. Will absolutely make it. Not a problem.
I'm going to huff out there and start hefting the wagon.
Reskin, that's not
tie the
a
ropes on and then heft it.
that's not a critical failure. But you jump in the water and you can't move against the rushing wave. Not swept under. You keep your footing, but right now you are surprised by how quickly it's moving. Especially considering Kasur just waded through as if it was nothing. Kasur, you make it to actually it's going to take you 2 movements, Kasur, to get to the thing, and as you get to the wagon, you realize it's going to take more than one action to release one horse. It's going to take 2 actions to release one horse.
I shove the ropes at the gnomes and tell them to tie off, and then I start working on one of the horses.
Okay, so that happens. The gnomes grab the rope from the shore and look around and see a tree nearby and start to try and tie the.
Oh, I was
ropes
saying to tie off on the cart. Use the ropes on the cart. The other end of the rope is with Tarnal on the horses.
Well, they can't get to the cart.
Oh, you can't get to the cart?
You can get to the cart, but they cannot.
Oh, the gnomes aren't on the cart. I thought the gnomes were on the cart.
The gnomes have there's 2 carts. let's go back to that. So
Okay.
we have 2 wagons. Actually, 2 more wagons. There are 3 wagons in total. 2 wagons sit safely on their side of the bank. There's 1 wagon in the middle of the river, 15 feet from both sides, that they cannot get to because they are so small that they are just going to get instantly swept down. And they're not
I thought there was
adventurers,
gnomes on the wagon. I'm
No.
sorry.
which is why you had to jump in there. They've been trying to figure out how to do it, but they haven't figured it out. You jumped in there, you get to the wagon, you start to unhitch 1 horse but haven't finished, and Reskin is struggling with the water. Lucas, you do manage to calm the horse that is being unhitched. currently to the point where you think that it will be able to be ushered away as soon as it is unhitched.
And I'm just going to do my best to keep the lines tight as need be once it's hooked up, to keep it from going anywhere else.
Okay, we're in round
Basically what I
two
do is lash
when
the ropes through and tie them off after.
we're in round two when Kasser manages to unhook, unlatch one horse, and with Lucas there to calm it, he manages to usher it through the water to the shore.
You're gonna tie it off to it.
What is Reskin? And so is Tunnel just keeping everything taut, is he?
Yeah, that's my entire job, is to just keep the ropes taut to try to stop this thing from moving any further than it already has.
All right.
Keep the wagon.
Perfect. That is working. Reskin, you are in the water. You haven't been able to move against the rush of it, but you are not being swept away at the moment. So if you want to keep trying...
There's a rope overhead if you want to use that to crawl along it to the wagon.
Yeah, that will make it a little easier.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool. I'll still need a check to see how we do. Oh, it's still pretty tough, but with the rope, you do manage to make it. It does take you most of your actions. It's going to take you 2 actions to get in there, leaving you 1 to assist with the unhitching.
Or tie the rope to the wagon.
Or tie the rope to the wagon, yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay. Kasuru, you have 2 actions left as well. You spent 1 to unhook, unlatch 1 horse, but the other horse is not calm yet.
Okay.
It's up to you whether you want to do that. You know it will be next round before Lucas is able.
I'll let Reskin tie off, and then
Yeah, I'll just climb up.
I
on
will
the wagon
start
and tie
unhitching the
tie
horse.
rope to the wagon somewhere.
Start? Yep, make a start. All right. Luke, so we're in round 3. Lucas?
I was going to say, the other thing I would do while unhitching that other horse that's not calmed, I want to shoulder against the wagon if I can and try to keep it in place or prepping to move it towards shore.
Perfect. Lucas does manage to make his way back and calm the next horse.
That's my 18, right?
Yep.
6. Okay.
And then you can finish unlatching the horse. It's moved back. Reskin finishes nodding everything off on the wagon. And at the start of round 4, you are in a position where your horses are tied to the sinking wagon. Reskin and Kasser are in the water. Lucas and Tarnal are not. Lucas is looking after the horses that were panicking and is keeping them calm, so that's what he needs to do. Tarnal can aid with your athletics checks to push from your end the wagon, because he has the horses tied to it, and so he is operating as an aid. And Reskin and Kasser, you can make athletics checks because the wagon is sinking, and so the wheels are sinking into mud, which
I'm going to
is
hero
athletics
point that.
checks to attempt to push it
A
out.
4.
Much better.
That's better.
7 is better than a 4. All right, both of you heave and haul. The gnomes are also on their end, heaving well. And just before it sinks, you manage to push it successfully to the shore, upon which time all of the gnomes cheer, mighty cheer, and they help assist Reskin and Kesser, or so that you are not at risk of being swept down the river.
Nice.
Da 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 da.
Well done. And with that, as you right yourselves and take a breather, it's time for a 5-minute break here to separate us from, so we can have a drink and a bite to eat and all the things that we need to do. So thank you everyone for being here. Specifically, I want to shout out to King J, to Snug Leona. Thank you guys for interacting and being a part of this. And Galaxy Fest. Didn't even see the raid earlier. I'm sorry. Let's give a SR. When did that happen? Did that just happen?
Like it just happened.
Galaxy Fest, welcome on in. Here is a shout out for you. I hope your stream went well. My name's Matt Nahat. If you haven't been here before, really appreciate you raiding in, and entrusting us with your community. We are playing Pathfinder 2 here, the Kingmaker Adventure Path. And we are going to take a break, but I'm going to stay here and talk to you since you raided in. But the other guys are going to take a quick break, 5-minute break to refresh and reset so that we can go on to the next thing. But guys, we've got Dr. Bone Mummy here. Good to see you. Thank you for the first time chat. Great to have you.
Welcome, everyone.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have you. Really appreciate the raid. How was your stream? What were you doing? Tell us all about it. We have a few minutes here. And guys, feel free to do what you need to do for the next couple of minutes. And I will chat to our lovely raiders here. Dragon playing Worm. We've got a fate turned setback for someone. Who would you like that to go to? That's going to go to Tarnal. When we come back, we're going to have some stuff going on. And guys, those that are raiding in, we have some redemptions for this particular stream. We were playing our penultimate episode of our Mass Effect 5e game. That sounds awesome. Mass Effect, eh? Mass Effect is such a cool world. And how was your penultimate game? We came to see what y'all have been up to. Yeah, we're playing Pathfinder 2. We're playing Kingmaker, which is a published adventure by the fine folks at Paizo. We have a massive campaign book to go through, and we've only had, this is our 21st session here today. We have been here for a little while now, but we are only just a tiny section. So this is the whole campaign. And we haven't even done all of the things in here, but so you can see, just it's truly a hefty campaign that we're adventuring through. I am the GM, and we have our fine players over here. Yeah, it's so big. It actually goes from level 1 to level 20 if the characters manage to sort of prevail that long against all the things that they're up to. And let me just, while we're having a look, let's zoom out here. This is the Stolen Lands. And this is the massive hex grid that these players and their characters are currently searching through to give you a bit of just a snapshot as to what we have been doing. We started all the way over here in Restov. We helped Lady Jamundi fend off some mercenary killers who were trying to burn down and kill everyone in her manor. We travelled west through Niktava's Crossing and Crooked Falls, travelling along the roads to Oleg's trading post that we found under siege from bandits that we soon drove away. We knew that they were coming from somewhere close by, and so we started to explore the lands around Oleg's trading post to see if we could liberate Oleg and his trading buddies from the bandits' clutches. We investigated some of these areas and eventually found the Thorn River bandit camp, which we cleared out and took some hostages and came on back. We've had a number of turns of events. We have been exploring a lot of this land. Eventually, after exploring a lot of this land, coming upon roaming kobolds and all sorts of things, we eventually made our way south, past the old sycamore where there was some kobolds holding out. We managed to some mitflits and then kobolds down here in Sootscale. We made our way south eventually to the Stag Lord's Fort, where which was a big fortified area, and the Stag Lord was the leader of all of the bandits that were making issues for everyone in these areas. And we cleared out his fort just recently. We drove him out, we killed him, and we took the area for ourselves and have established a foothold, a settlement in this location. And after establishing a kingdom or a settlement that is slowly growing and we're attracting people to, we have been traveling east to explore some goings on. There's been some rumors and some tracks of large creatures that have been treading through and making nuisance of themselves that we started to investigate. And we have been just recently traveling through these areas. We came upon a creature that was declaring himself to be a dragon but not showing himself, and our characters and players believe that it's not a dragon, and instead it's some other creature. And we met just today a fairy, and then rescued some gnomes who the dragon had gotten his kobold cohorts to go and attack, and so we have just rescued them. So that's a little bit of a snapshot as to what we've been doing. Made a long way so far, and that's just a small fraction of the game. Yeah, we have done 69 Galaxy Fest. Oh my lord! We have so much going on. I cannot keep up with all of the chat, but thank you guys. 69 bits, that is extraordinarily generous. Thank you so much. Settlement building mechanics part of the adventure. Yes, they are. And I can show you very briefly the kingdom sheet. You're not going to be able to make too much from this, but we can see that we have named our nation and the capital. We have some rulers over here. We have some resources. We have culture, economy, loyalty, and stability, which are kind of like stats for the kingdom. We have a whole bunch of activities that the kingdom can do that are in an exhaustive list over here. And we have skills that the kingdom is trained in, that they're good at. So we have trained in trade, intrigue, in industry, engineering, arts, and agriculture. We have favored land, which is river. We have settlement being constructed, and lots of stuff, basically, things going on. And to show you a little bit more, this is a lot all at once, but just giving you a snapshot of what is going on here. So we have, where are we? random. Second. Where are we? Kingdom maps. So I'll show you our capital at the moment. This is just a representation. Obviously, it's not in squares like this, but this is a representation of the buildings that we currently have in the space that we currently have available. We have a town hall already, and we have some housing already that we've already established and growing, and we know that we can expand further and make new things. We also have on this map, we can see, if we click on this button, the areas that we have claimed. So the Stag Lord's Fort is our base, our capital, and we have claimed the river crossing here and the rickety bridge, which is going to be farmland for us. So look, it's going crazy. There's a lot to say. Yes, lots of kingdom building. That is something that we've spent a little bit of time with. We spent about probably a total of 2 sessions, but broken up to do some kingdom building. So, lots going on. But yes, that is where we're up to. Yeah, it's great to have you all here. Would love to hear more about your Mass Effect game if you would like to talk about it. Sounds really exciting. And I'm going to make sure, before I do too much, I'm going to go and follow Galaxy Fest here. There's a follow for you, Galaxy Fest. Thank you for the raid. Really appreciate it. And Dr. Bone Mummy, if you are also a streamer, let us know so that I can give you a follow as well. And anyone that's watching, please give Galaxy Fest a follow, as they have raided in today with I think it was 8 viewers, which is amazing. Either way, we really appreciate you. Yeah, you're more than welcome. We love to have you, and there is some interaction. You only just arrived, but there is in the channel points of the stream some green ones that have Kingmaker written on them, which are things like draw a card for critical hits, Kingmaker Fate Turn, which adds a setback to a player character, which we've had redeemed by Dragon Playing Worm here for Tarnal, which we will go over here. We have also give characters hero points, which allow them re-rolls and things. And we also have add a flashback or a character or some sort of thing as interaction. So lots of stuff. Bis2, thank you so much for the first time chat. Good to see you as well. Best raid we've ever done. That's wonderful. I hope you guys are being really successful, that you having a great game. And did you say that this is the penultimate session that you've had? So is there one more after this? Because I'd love to see that. Lots of our folks over here are good fans, big fans of Mass Effect. Love to see a role-playing version of that. So I'm sure they'll have a look, and be sure we are finishing up next week in this time slot. We'll try and come in and say hi if we can. This isn't, we normally do tomorrow in this time slot, so we might be able to do that to come and say hi. But either way, I'm gonna jump back to our redemption here, done by Dragon Playing Worm. Looks like all of our players are back. Guys, are you ready to get back into business?
I'm good.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, so they said homebrew Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, not a homebrew made by these folks, but something that they're using to power their narrative. There you go, there's a link, everyone. Thank you for posting that. If you're interested in a homebrew for Mass Effect in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, go ahead and click that link and visit it and who knows? It's a great world of
I'll be right back. I
exploration.
gotta take care of one of the kids.
Mostly the rules we have been using with some homebrew. Yeah, awesome. Well, it's great that you guys have been doing that. We support all types of role playing here, and yeah, you're more than welcome to drop by here. We'll try do our best to support you wherever we can. Let us know when you're playing and all that. Try and be there. So Tarnal, we've had a setback added to your character, and we are here with Jubilost. Let's just introduce Jubilost here. You've heard a lot about him. He's the one that has been incessantly talking this whole time. And Tarnal, he has somehow, for some reason, attached himself to you. He follows you everywhere that you go, and he talks constantly. He talks about the kingdom that you've been making. He talks about everything that they've been doing. He shows you all the maps that they've been making. He shows you what all of the points of interest are on the maps that he's been making. He says that they slept too long in this particular location and that they got up at like 11 a.m. and then they were really hungry.
Shut up. Just shut up.
No, Tarnal, be nice. You need to be diplomatic.
Shut up, you.
He tells you in great detail about how the kobolds came and attacked them and pushed their wagon into the water and messed some of them up. He gives the exact description of the kobolds that were worshipping Maseverax.
Perfect.
Never gonna dance again. Yeah, lots of buttons to press underneath, guys. Change your hat! What? Alright, what do you want to change me to, sir? What am I changing to? We've got a captain hat, we've got a bell hat.
Yeah, just a ball cap's fine. Like a baseball hat or something.
Baseball hat?
Or I mean, like, I don't know, like you guys have like.
I don't think he has any of those.
Okay, just a beanie's fine. Like just do you have a beanie?
I have a beanie. One
Yeah,
moment.
that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's winter down there, isn't it?
It sure is, yeah.
Yeah.
Down here and down under. Okay, so yeah, we have lots of cool buttons. Feel free to interact, and we love having you here. All right, so yeah, this talking isn't stopping. He just seems to. He's like, oh, can you play me a song? Can you play me a song?
I'm gonna try to find just the right amount of music that he fades right into it, so that no one can hear that, and I don't have to listen to it either. And that's what I'm gonna play.
Okay. Do you want to make me a performance check, please?
Absolutely.
He really, really, really does right now.
All right.
There you go.
So as you're performing, this is an excellent check. All right, this is excellent. The response that you get from him is this: If you were better, I reckon you could perform for a king or a queen. Kind of a like backhanded compliment, sort of.
I mean, the only way he
Or
could
a
get,
prince,
like, an
or
compliment is like
or perhaps a
queen.
mayor.
Like a nat
You
20 or something.
you could perform for a mayor if you were a little better. Practice a little bit more.
Just gonna keep playing and up the volume until he turns into it. Just slightly louder.
Yeah.
I'll come alongside Tardal and say, Your Majesty, do you need help with this little one?
Can't hear you. Loud music.
So you're saying that you and Kessler need to have a volume challenge?
That's not at all what I said. You decide what you want to do with that one.
Turtle will win.
All right.
He's probably right about that. Bullhorn usually makes that absolutely happen.
It's true.
You notice that he's only shown you one particular map of all of the maps that he has. You can see that there are quite a number of them. But he's keeping them very much under wraps. And if any inquiries were made about them, he pretty much shut you down and say, like, these are secret information and they're for our eyes only.
Well, that makes you spies in the realm. Oh, sorry.
Wait, Your Majesty, did you say they're spies? Do I need to clasp them in irons?
No.
Your
Not yet,
Majesty,
anyway.
calm your attack dog down, please.
I told him no.
So, given that Tarnal is irked a little bit by the incessant talking and just trying to play it off,
I'm trying real hard not to punt the gnome, okay?
Literally.
Yeah, I chose my words there. Alright, so the game is in your hands again, guys. I've painted a situation for you. You know what you have to do. You know that this gnome won't stop talking. What do you want to do?
What are the other gnomes doing?
The other gnomes are, like, repacking things that have come unstuck in the wagons. They're feeding the horses. They are repairing the wheels that have come slightly unstuck and making sure that everything's in alignment. That sort of thing in order to potentially get underway again at some point.
Where are they planning on going?
Jubilost will answer that, and he says, he interrupts them as they are about to speak, and he says, "That's for us to know and for you to find out."
Exactly,
Okay,
so tell
where are
them.
you going?
You want to make me make an impression or diplomacy check, please? The same thing.
My roll, I'm going to do my roll after this.
Oof.
I'm going to fade that. That is just... I'm wanting him to go more diplomatic after working with you guys, like with what Tarnal has said. So I have to... Are you serious?
Wow.
Kessler is really struggling to be diplomatic. He's trying real hard.
Wow.
Oh boy. Not as
You know what
hard.
happens? Watch.
Okay.
Watch.
And then I
Just to
open
prove a
mouth.
point,
So
Yep.
I can do that one.
I'm gonna
Tell us,
take,
little gnome.
so I'm gonna take him away, like while he's being bombarded with all these questions. I'm gonna pull him aside from Jubilost, and we're gonna talk about school and where he's studying.
Perfect. You lined him right up to me so that I can punt him.
And
Wow.
and we're gonna talk about school. We're gonna talk about university. And we're gonna talk about books. And we're going to just have a nice conversation, like 5-10 minutes long. Nice little conversation about map making and the tools that he uses in his trade every day and the process that he uses and things like that to make him feel more comfortable, make him feel better working with us and schmoozing. And then I will ask him, once I have gained some modicum of trust, I will ask him the question that everybody wants to know.
Okay. Which is?
Where are you going?
Okay. I am going to have you make your choice of an academia law, crafting law, one of the laws that you use to butter him
I
up.
rolled.
He
I
did
rolled
an
the
academia
I did
lore.
an academia,
He did
and
an
I got a
academia
20.
check of
What?
27.
I did, yeah.
27?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Scroll up.
Oh, sorry, I believe you. So he has a
Roll
like
that.
a
So, right before my blunder.
yeah.
You roll an athletics check to prevent me from punting the guy with my 1.
Sure.
Well, with your
I can do
one,
that.
I think that you just keep turning the volume up, and it makes it really hard for anyone to pay attention to anything anyone is saying because you just keep getting louder. Caster,
Why does this game hate me today?
you go to punch him and you fall in the river.
Don't drown.
No, none of that. It's just like
No, that was to hold, like Tarnal, because he said, "Hold me back so I don't punt him."
oh,
Yeah,
then Tunnel has free reign. Absolutely.
Knows better. Knows better. But probably still going to do it.
Just,
I'm
Yeah.
trying to keep the gnome safe.
I know. So he has Jubilust has a short but pertinent scholastic debate with you. Of in this time, as he's doing this, he uses very large words. You understand them and you can keep up with them, but a lot of the words that he uses are more of these like backhanded, not real compliments. They're more veiled insults, you know,
Oh, good.
with you. But you can see that he is warming to you with your 27, despite the fact that this is how he talks.
So he's better than the dead gnome.
I'm just humoring him. He doesn't know that, but I'm just humoring him. I'm letting him talk, and I'm listening. One of the hallmarks of empathy, listening.
So
you
you're
say
going to
something?
learn that he spent many years in the comfort of civilization reading and writing about exploration, theorizing on the nature of this world's relationship to the first world.
The first world? You're talking about the Fey world?
Faye.
Yes.
Okay.
This guy's foolish. Oh, I mean,
What you mean, failish?
no.
You also can determine, Lucas, that he
Yep.
really likes scholastic debate and argument. Argument for the point of argument, for the sake of argument.
Yeah, I mean he's a debater, and that's
A lot of the things you interpret as insults that he uses that are like veiled compliments, but really not. They're more insults than.
I mean, it's kind of a performance art, honestly.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't have a script for him. We're just
Oh, no.
narrating that this is the case.
Yeah.
But in your establishment here of getting to know him and him warming a little bit to you, you determine that he seems to be very knowledgeable in his field. He seems to have quite thorough maps. Even the one that he is showing you, it's quite obvious that the other ones are even better, more thought out than the one that you've seen, and the one that you've seen is rather good.
Does he have one of Bravoy?
Says maybe.
Let's see.
He would be willing to sell you one.
Okay. Can I tell if it's like, because I'm from Bravoy. Can I like see if it's worthwhile before I buy it?
No, he asks for the money. He says, if you want
What
my
is it
map.
that you're trying to buy?
So can I ask if are there any like
He said
landmarks on
Bravoy.
it? Are there any landmarks? Are there any treasure sites? Are there any unknown areas that need to be added?
He says there will
looked at?
definitely be something of interest on this.
Okay. How much?
10 gold pieces.
1 second.
Are we supposed to be on the kingdom screen? Or should we be on...
I mean, I'm on the capital screen.
We can be on... We can all just... It doesn't really matter because we're kind of floating. But we can be here.
Yeah. Okay.
I will pay him 10 gold pieces out of my own personal inventory.
Can you make me a perception check?
Mm-hmm.
As you count 10 gold pieces into his hand, he looks a little confused, a little surprised. You get the picture that he wasn't expecting you to accept this price, and he wasn't expecting you to believe that that was his real price. But he takes it.
He expected you to dither with him.
I mean, maybe part
I
of
kind of
me.
wonder if it's more
No, that's
you
the
buying
noble.
goodwill.
That's the noble in you. You just
Yeah,
accept.
I mean, it's just like, like for me, like honesty is the best policy, and like I'm not really a haggler. I'm thinking like if this is like you're the map making expert. Like this is your craft.
And
I'm
you asked
trusting
for Bravoy, right?
Yep.
So, I'm not going to do it now, but I am
Sure.
going to, in the time between this session and next session, going to add a point of interest in the Bravoy area that is going to be populated due to Jubilost's map that you just put.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Everyone else seems a little perturbed by this though, but I will tell you this. In game terms and in player terms, Jubilost is available to become a companion. He will be populated into the journal to represent such.
Well, it's a good thing that I've been chumming him up.
Maybe we should make the guy who never stops talking the chief negotiator.
I mean,
Oh yeah, I'm sure everyone will love him.
I would not have him negotiate. He would be
just insult everyone.
He could be the chief annoyer.
All right, guys. Well, with that all wrapped up, thank you for partaking in this role play moment in meeting Jubilost and however he has come across to you, in helping him out and the rest of the gnomes. It's going to take them quite some time to get themselves sorted and continue on. as far as where they're going, there was a successful intimidation check. Not much else that went on there. So, Jubilost will seem a little perturbed by this, like, threat.
Oh, that was just showing that I can... Yeah, no. The intimidation was just showing that I can roll intimidation, but apparently, like, nothing else.
Oh, okay. So you didn't want to intimidate.
No. That was a... And yeah, I'm rolling this badly. Watch. I can roll this one, but not the others. And
All right,
that's
then
exactly what happened.
you have not successfully... yeah.
Pissed him off.
Reskin is the only one other than Lucas. So Lucas has, engaged him with a fair bit more, but Reskin has come across at least friendly at the start. The others have not at all.
I play loud music to tune out.
I mean,
talking.
I just
Can I
kinda
try a
figured that.
legal lore on him to try to see if I can get him to divulge where they're going?
Sure.
While they're haranguing Jubilost, can I talk to the other gnomes and while I'm talking to them, help them with the wagons?
Of course.
So to be clear, part of why I was going with that is I do have the contract negotiator,
yeah,
which says you can make an impression or request using legal lore.
Awesome. Okay, so let me just read.
So it should be a +1. It should be 24.
Perfect.
Forgot I had the +1 on that.
Blah blah blah. Maps, influences from the first.
Dear Jubilost, as a member of the ruling council of this land, would you be so kind as to divulge your purposes and your destination within our domain?
I'm just reading.
Tell the oligarchs.
Yeah.
That
was me filling some air for you while you were reading. That's all.
Alternatively, if you decide to make this,
Role playing it because that's what we're here to do.
yeah, perfect. So, he says that they are mapping the local area. He says that they have successfully mapped everything highlighted here. Okay, in this section.
Wow. So our primary zone that's just north of us.
We've already reconnoitered.
They have also done a couple of these, but their intention is to travel west to start to map out the great swath of land here.
Ooh, that's dangerous. Let's see.
They say that potentially, given the lay of the land, they're aware that what they want to do at this stage is see how they know that there's another river just to the south, and they want to map this swath of land here, right, where the rivers connect in the bay, and then make their way west. So they want to do this section first before they head. And
why don't you and your fellows head to our settlement to the east and take provisions there and rest up before heading on?
He looks to
Custom inspection, just go.
He looks to his fellows, shrugs, he goes, "Is there a tavern?"
Don't think we have.
They're working on building one. There's currently a makeshift one in the town hall, but we're working on getting a proper one. We need some timber for that, and that's one thing we're out here investigating.
Okay. He ferries about in all of his goods, and he pulls out a little vial checks the label, nods. He pulls out a pin and he pricks his finger. A single drop of blood will pop out. He corks the vial, lets the single drop of blood fall into the vial, and it corks the. Then he hands it to you. He says, "You can speak into this vial. You can drink the liquid and speak into the vial, and a message will be sent from you to me when you have successfully erected an inn or a tavern. Let me know, and we will drop by. Up till then, I see no reason to do so."
Very well. Thank you, Matt. I was trying to figure that out. Like, what do we need to do to work with him? So thank you for throwing us that bone. I appreciate it.
So
Why do you think it is I brought brewer's supplies when we came out here in the first place? Beer.
yeah, and he has
Mix
some
the
alchemical, like, so
Oh yeah.
Jubilost is an alchemist. Like, this is his purview, as well as a cartographer. And so I figure, why not give you a way to cast a message spell in a bottle?
I appreciate it.
So, done. Fine. Villagers should be able to use their bits until they are done with them. Then it's right into the organ body donation pile. And this is out of context.
That was about. No, that was out of context. That was about Kingdom's Alamar. I fate shifted, batted a gnome like he was a baseball.
Oh.
Since they were talking about Tarnil's statement about punting the gnome. So I was saying that that, and then they're talking about as like one's a necromancer, and then it's like, well, it's just recycling.
Yeah, I can't keep up with all of the chat, but
it's all good. That's why I was telling you.
I was just like, what? We're doing what now?
That's why I interrupted for you, because they're like, no, it's not that. It's
Patchwork flesh golems. You can't tell that by the chat. Come on.
All right, so here we are. I think I've revealed that area as far as yes. So that is now explored by you. So we've now done that for this and this hex. We've done a whole bunch of other things. Do you want to accompany this insatiably talkative gnome on his quest, or do you want to go elsewhere?
I'd like to accompany.
I mean, we did want to scout here.
Yeah. He's
At least for a little while.
He's going right where we're planning on going to scout. Might as well be straight numbers.
Yep.
I'll just put in earplugs. I'll be fine. Pretend to be the hard of hearing bard.
Get some beeswax.
Well, where are they heading? Because we do need to head the
So
other way.
we are here.
And deal with the problem.
He is on the other side of the river, right, currently. So he wants to explore all of this coastline, basically, to see what's in this landmass. And then his intention is to follow the river upstream to wherever it ends. That is his intention.
Without stopping.
Not without stopping. No, they're going to be camping and stopping and But yeah, they're not going back They're not going back anywhere. They're to resupply. They've got enough for quite some time, about 2 weeks worth of exploration. So you get the picture that probably they're going to be taking it easy. You're not sure, because you haven't traveled with them. They've got 3 wagons.
Slow.
They're probably going to slow you down. It is safer with them. Obviously, there's 9 of them. But it's probably going to take you up to twice as long per hex to reconnoiter.
Is it gonna be a deeper, like a more
Thorough.
yeah, thank you. A more thorough reconnoiter because we have map makers with us?
So, narratively, yes. Mechanically, no.
Alright.
Because there is no such thing.
Well, I mean, we wanted to scout this
Sure.
hex, and they're headed there next, so we could go with them that far, and then we could, go back to deal with whatever's in the water or get the Dryad's tokens.
Yeah. Whatever you would like.
Let's do the 1 hex with them then.
Down here?
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Then we will travel that way. I'll get you all pleased to make either survival or perception checks as you start to reconnoiter this hex, and they are going to give a +2 on everyone's check. You don't have to mechanically do that. We'll just cite that. Oof.
Look at that. Kessler can actually roll well.
Yeah.
Once a decade.
Once in a while.
Blind squirrel.
All right. Sweet. So we are there. All right. You explore for quite some time. Until Casseur draws your attention to some mist. Or at least he thinks it's mist initially, but very quickly changes his mind. I'm going to read out the description here, which will be flavored in here. A dilapidated mud hut squats atop a small hummock in the middle of a fetid marsh. A thin tendril of, here's the mist, bluish smoke trickling through a gaping hole in its moss-covered roof. A wooden fence surrounding the perimeter of the mound is festooned with crude fetishes crafted out of sticks, feathers, and animal bones. A lone crow caws noisily at the top of a nearby cypress tree.
Oh, I'm gonna be. There's all sorts of Arcana stuff going on. I'm getting Arcana vibes.
We've also heard some rumors that might potentially be applicable here.
Or a cult.
Now, which rumor would that be?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is the hag
I
area.
don't remember all the rumors we've heard.
I think this is the hag.
It's a horrible thing to call a nice old lady out here in the middle of the godforsaken swamp. Come on, let's go.
Just right, just like in Baldur's Gate 3.
Hey, spoiler alert.
I think it's been out for long enough.
Whatever. It's fine.
Yes, and Alduin is a dragon.
Oh my
Fine.
lord.
I still haven't finished that game. Thank you. It's fine. I don't
What?
care.
You
I
haven't
played
realized
some- I
that
played some-
Alduin's a dragon?
Yeah, it's in the first yeah, I get it. It's fine.
Something that you... So we've got an Arcana check. Lucas, you pick up an immediate signature of magic, and it's coming from something that is moving, and everyone else, you'll point at a direction, and everyone else will look, and then all of you will see it move. Is a pumpkin-headed scarecrow that is currently animated and moving in your general direction.
Oh boy.
What in all of the green hells is that thing?
Oh,
What is the train around here? Is there anywhere to hide?
It is a fetid swamp, so you can hide in mud or behind trees. There's a lot of mud, a lot of trees.
Try and hide behind a tree.
I want to know what that is.
I'm just gonna walk up to it and greet it.
Okay.
I'm gonna have my
moment.
spear ready.
Oh, come on, it's a
I
scarecrow.
don't trust creepy things.
I want to know what it is.
Let's see.
It's the thing. I don't know what it is. Could be a threat. Be ready.
Just seeing if there is a particular map.
I'm trying to think of what it would be. Like
Oh,
a
you're
check
about
that
to
I can
find
make.
out. I'm gonna
No, I
do
mean,
this
like-
while I'm gonna start this thing. Could you all please roll initiative while I set this up? Please?
Awesome.
Because Lucas walked right up to this thing.
Good job, Lucas. I'm
I
sure it's not
mean-
like a grenade going off.
I mean,
Grenades are fun.
No token
Send
on
it-
the scene.
yeah,
to
I
roll
get the same
initiative.
thing. No token.
Well, yeah. I'm just figuring out.
No, you're fine. I was just telling you so you knew why we weren't rolling. That's all.
Mhm.
Take your time. man.
Alright, so we need a forest. We need a marsh. So I'm gonna grab a marsh here. Let's see. Hills, forest, ditch, clearing. Yeah, that'll do. So I'm going to do this one. Guys, what you see is not what you're gonna see, because I'm editing this as we go.
Sure.
So don't mind me while I use this resource again.
Oh, you're good, man. We totally get that. All of us, at least who have DM'd, completely get what's going on. Not to leave you out, Azrael. Just we've literally lived that before, is what I'm saying.
Sure. Of course.
Yep, so that's all good. So
You
what I'm
seem to
gonna
do it in
do,
Cyberpunk.
I'm gonna have Rezkin back here hiding in a tree. Behind a tree. I'm gonna have Kassur and Tarnal out in the open because you're not hiding. And Lucas, what I'm gonna
That would
do
be next to Tarnell, not so.
is I'm gonna
somewhere
just
right
draw like an area here, something like this ish, which is gonna be kind of where the hut is.
Mhm.
Okay. And Lucas, you're gonna be right here.
There's like a fence line around the hut, right?
Yeah.
A little picket fence.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So I think that that's probably adequate at this stage. It's not going to
Sure.
be exact, but you know, we're just doing things. You're going to be here, and I'm going to grab the thing, and that's going to be here. Oop. Okay. So let me just read here. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. So it appeared to be propped up midway between the gate and the door to the hut. It lurches to life as Lucas approaches it. Okay. And we will go back to our initiative. So we will...
No active encounter.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, sorry, no worries.
Getting there. Should now have tokens. Perfect, thank you. Scarecrow. Boy. Okay. Well, guess who's attacking first, Lucas? As you approach it, investigate it.
Not hearing very well. Try again.
Hello?
Now I can hear you
Yep,
fine.
you're good.
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stop the music just in case it's that. We don't need it. And the people at home can't use it, can't hear it anyway. So you approach it, it will strike out at you. Actually, what's gonna happen first is its head is gonna burst with a ghostly, heatless flame.
All right.
Oop.
So it's a walking pumpkin bomb.
Yeah. Uses the ability the first round of combat. Any creature that has not acted yet is startled and becomes off guard.
Is that in the area of effect or all of us?
Everyone is off guard. So I'll drag that to all of you for 1 round only.
Wait, so that's everyone on the whole
Yes.
map? Okay. Wow.
Everyone who has not acted, which is everyone. Okay. And then this. Yep. Okay. Alright, so it's going to try and strike you. Lucas?
Alrighty. Yep.
So its head erupts in this ghostly light, and then a claw comes striking out at you. Dealing 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
It just pounds its closed fist claw into you. And as part of that, enters the area. I need you to make this, please. Up. Nice.
Haste.
Okay. That is that. Perfect. It will then attempt to grab you. It just doesn't have the grab trait on the attack. So this is at a minus. Well, it won't be this full bonus. That won't do anything. And then, so it fails to grab you. It will try to hit you again, but you do see that it's fairly affected by everything that's done so far. Very unlikely. Wow. Still manages to hit you with 13 points of damage. This time it's
Okay.
going to be slashing. It says bludgeoning there, but I'm going to make that slashing as it opens its claws and slashes in to Lucas.
Ow.
Wow.
He has a lot of free moves or something. That was a lot.
Lucas.
He took two-thirds of my health. I'm gonna move back if I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And then I'm going to,
Say, ow, mommy.
yeah, pretty much. I don't have any potions.
So you see it move like as if it was going to attack you as you move away, and you are scared for just a moment, but it's far too slow to hit you, which represents that it doesn't have an attack of opportunity. You learn in this moment. But I just want the fear aspect here, as you see it moving, and you're like, oh no! Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. I have my longbow out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to shoot it.
All right. Make sure you target for me, please.
That's targeted, yeah.
Okay, that is a hit. You shoot your bow. Arrow flies with unbelievable accuracy, striking into this creature and barely doing it.
You hit me in the cuticle.
Yeah. No.
Oh, you don't do any damage to it.
Okay.
You scratched him.
So that might
and
tell
with
you
my
something.
With my third action, I'm going to light my torch.
Okay.
I'm done.
Tunnel.
Okay, well, this thing's immediately become hostile. So I'm going to set right up into my standard. Set for that. I'm going to cast. How far away from me are you? 2, 3, 4. You're 30. That's on you, Lucas.
Thank you.
For the purposes of narration here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shift you like that. What I'm going to narrate is that Lucas crossed the fence line. Okay?
Okay.
Now, how much you want to pay attention to that is up to you, but that's...
Sure. No worries.
What does that big circle represent?
That circle is the glow of the scarecrow's ghostly fire light on its head.
Okay.
And then I'm going to begin to play that.
Okay, so you cast Soothe. Ally. Heal some of his
Thank you.
health. And then you use Courageous Anthem. Inspire everyone. Guys, you can drag that spell effect over. Reskin.
Alright. I would like to sneak forward to, let's see here. Yeah, there. And take a shot with my hand crossbow.
hit the Scarecrow with your bolt. Slams into it.
Is it immune to sneak attack?
Why would it be off guard to you at this time?
On stealth?
He was.
Lead, death effects, disease. Let me see. It is a construct. Non-lethal attacks. Okay, so this is what it says, okay? You don't know this as characters. It says here, immune. Bleed, death effects, disease, doomed, drained, fatigued, healing, mental, non-lethal attacks, paralyzed, poisoned, sickened, spirit, unconscious, vitality, and void. None of those says precision.
Nope.
Just making sure before I rolled it.
So it is fine. Precision. Okay, so
It's immune to a lot of shit, though.
there you go.
And then I'm going to.
Yeah, your characters obviously don't know that.
I'm gonna
It
throw
absorbed. It just straight absorbed 5 damage. Jesus.
Yep, so you moved in, you moved out, and you attacked?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
No one else has said anything, so I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was that where it was?
Yeah, we can't tell that it didn't take the full damage, though.
Sure.
Yep. So I will move there.
Okay,
And also
so
what my allies seem to say they want us to do.
I need this from you.
Oh.
That's the
Okay.
That's the pink.
Are you serious?
Ooh.
Ow.
The dice are so kind to me.
Oh, they are definitely that.
Somebody's gonna get scared.
So here you go.
3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 2.
Enjoy. So this is the first time that we've had the fascinated trait condition. You are compelled to focus your attention on something, distracting you from everything else that's going on. You take -2 to perception and skill checks. You can't concentrate unless your intended target is the subject of your fascination, which in this case is the Scarecrow. So anything that you want to concentrate on that's to do with the Scarecrow can be done. Anything that is concentration that is not the Scarecrow cannot be done while this is in play. And you are also frightened 3.
Of the Scarecrow?
Yes.
Does your will save take into effect that you should have a +1 save against that from the rallying?
It's -6. So
It's a nat 1.
Oh, I can't see what you roll. It just shows me the total at this point.
Yeah, it's a
You
nat
only
1.
use question marks for your dice rolls.
maybe just check. Yeah, cool.
Wisdom, expert, lawbringer, courageous anthem.
Yep, still in it.
All right, so you
rolled a
can
nat 1, so it's a crit
finish.
fail.
You can finish your turn. You've done one action to move there, and apparently that area that you've entered in is extraordinarily terrifying.
If that's the case, he would move back and say, "There's something wrong with that place," because
Or that thing
that would lean into the frightened 3.
makes sense. You aren't compelled to flee. If that's how you think
But
that he
Frightened
would
3,
be.
right. There's something wrong at Frightened 3. He's like,
yeah.
Could have thrown your spear and then come back.
He could still do that if you like. It's up to him.
I could have. So probably while that thing was having that effect, he would throw it and then hightail.
Absolutely, that's fine. So
after he throws it. Oh, I would have been from the different spot.
Yeah, so you would have succeeded.
Whatever.
So do your damage. The rage penalty is 4 and it wouldn't have been anything. So yeah, you'll do that. So this will be what happens.
And then the spirit comes back and he's like, "Oh, I'm out."
Okay. And it's the Scarecrow's turn.
That round sucked.
Yep. Oh. One, two.
Jesus Christ.
So it moves twice. And then we'll make a claw attack.
You're not within 15.
Oof.
Missed.
1 second.
Every +1 counts.
This moves with it. And that is its turn. Lucas?
Okay, all right. Let's see.
It's right there next to you. Swap to the
Yeah.
longsword and stab it twice. Or swap to the longsword, devise a stratagem, stab it once.
Yeah. I mean, I've got my longsword out. I don't know how I have it out, but I have
You can't
it out.
have both it and the longbow at the same time.
No.
It was
Oh,
a
I know.
mistaken thing.
Okay. Well, I'll put my longbow away then.
So yes, 1 action to swap.
Yep. Let's strategize.
Strategy.
Come on. Fuck.
Strategy. Nope.
Wow. Just absolutely fucking awful. I'm just gonna try hitting it with my torch. Can I?
Well, you
like,
get a 3,
not-
you know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you automatically got the 3 you're going to miss at that point, and that would then use that up. But
Yeah. Is this thing like? Can I reason with it? Like, can I like talk to it?
You haven't tried, but
I haven't tried. I'd like to try, because I don't think that I can hit it.
So something that you will notice before you go and do that, right? So I'll give you obvious things.
Sure.
One of the obvious things is that this thing is on a pole and is stuffed with straw and has a head that glows magically.
Okay.
It hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
So go off that and use your deductive reasoning to come up with something.
So I'm gonna roll an occultism to try and like communicate with it in that manner.
Okay. Occult. Okay. Right. You are going to learn some things. It does not respond to you when you try to like reach out like with your occult senses and like speak and whatever. You reach out with your senses, and you get a brick wall. There is nothing here. There is no intelligence. There is nothing. There is a very clear consequence to Lucas's mind due to what has happened. Lucas recalls in this moment stepping over the line of the fence, and as soon as he did, the thing that was hunched over, doing nothing, suddenly went blah. Lucas does not believe that he can reason with it, but potentially it's being... You don't think it's being controlled by anything because it has too much that it can do for that, but you think perhaps it has been animated by someone previous to this and given commands and a set thing, because it seems to just be moving and attacking to your knowledge. It did try to grab you. That was the most intelligent thing that it did to date. Okay. You also see active smoke coming from the hut in that area.
I think I'm out of actions.
You devised a stratagem, you switched, and you made a check.
Assault weapons, yeah.
Yes.
So I'm out of actions. But all that information that I have, like other people saw it as well, right?
Well, you can call some of that to attention. You can say a sentence.
Yeah. Check the hut.
There you go. Check the hut.
Check the hut.
No one outpieces the hut. Sorry.
Sure.
Couldn't help it. Couldn't help it.
No worries.
Pizza the hut.
Yeah.
Ate himself to death in his limo.
Search or whoever's next. Check
Tunnel.
I don't have movement to do that and still be able to keep the stuff up that I'm going to do. So I'm going to leave that to someone else.
Okay.
That'll be Reskin. Oh, Matt, does Frighten go down by one at the end of my turn or not?
Let me check on that, please.
Oops, actually left click it.
Well, I like seeing that.
It does reduce, but it cannot reduce to less than 1 while in its aura. So it can reduce to less than 1 while outside of it.
Okay. So it'd be at 2 right now then.
Ooh.
The aura being the bigger one or the smaller one?
It's the circle, the bigger one.
The pink.
Bigger one. So you are in it. So yeah, it can't be reduced to...
Oh, wow. Okay.
To 0. It can only go to 1.
Nice.
So that is that the normal hit?
That is a normal hit.
You rolled incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see it. That is doubled. Boom. Describe that for us, because that's huge.
That's just stepping forward, drawing some needle darts or the loot strings out, giving them a heave and watching them twist their way through, slicing that pumpkin as much to ribbons as possible.
Wait.
Beautiful.
That's everything, right?
There's that, and I'm going to throw my buff back up. I just need to get back to what I was doing, so I'm not targeting.
Buff master.
Reskin.
I am going to...
So you are not stealthed at the moment.
Yeah, I'm going to reload my crossbow and move forward to here and take a shot.
Okay. Loose your crossbow. You are accurate. Oh. And this is what
I hit it.
happens. Book.
I hit it.
You definitely hit
It
it.
has a crossbow bolt in it.
Think.
Well, another one.
Yeah, quite a few of them now. But with arrows and bolts and all manner of things and loot strings.
Strings.
All right,
That's
and that's
what-
your turn, Kasser.
Do I feel the effect still within this thing? Like, would there be some indication that Kesser would know that within this area he still feels that fear, so that he would leave it? That's what I was.
Okay, a few things. He doesn't know that there's an area that he can leave.
No.
That this feeling can go away, but he is
Does he
feeling
still
the
have the
feeling.
feeling?
He is feeling the feeling now. Yes.
Okay. I'm saying, is it just the frightened too that he feels, or is it like within this aura he feels something extra still? Like he
It
can
was
still feel
your.
that he's in the aura or not?
It was your narration that took you away.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's up to you. There is nothing compelling you at all. There is only something frightening you, and that is the scarecrow, and only the scarecrow. However, Lucas has pointed out there might be something in the hut, and you, being a reasonable human being, know that perhaps if he's pointed that out, that maybe something that's causing the scarecrow could be in the hut.
And where is the door to the hut?
On the other side of that, we'll call that the entrance, like the doorstep, and the door can be on that
Okay.
line there.
So the door would be right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good marker.
Should just call out.
Oh.
Knock on the door. Can you turn your creepy pumpkin head off, please? And we'll beat on the door.
All right, you'll beat on the door. 1 second,
While
please.
asking if they'll turn the creepy pumpkin head monster off.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be all his turns, because probably an action to beat on the door.
It is a interactor.
Not like break the door down, but like knock urgently.
All right, I'm going to roll something here. It is going to be this. Don't worry about who that's targeting. I'm just one that's good. Can you, for me, please make a social check, diplomacy or intimidation? What I'm measuring is how loud the knock is.
With my disadvantage. Yay!
Okay. Then, at the moment, you're not getting a response at this stage, but you might. Who knows? Is that all of your actions?
Yeah. That's because I'm not trying to be mean. I bet I would have rolled higher otherwise. Yeah.
All right,
Let
Scarecrow.
that be mean.
Scarecrow is going to attempt to grab succeeds. which means that I need to
Ooh,
add.
I just gotta chill.
You gotta chill.
Uh-huh.
Uh huh. Grabbed condition.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will try to slash at you with its claws. Loop. Ooh, does not succeed. We'll try again.
Oh,
Wow. It's rolling very well on that
it is.
very unlikely attack.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh,
No,
wow.
that hurts. That hurts.
Wow. Just, it lifts up both its claws here
Yeah.
in this moment and just goes like this, ripping into Lucas's chest, and blood is pouring out, and shreds of his armor are hanging loose. Lucas?
Scream.
Yeah.
Really, really, really loud. I'm gonna scream.
Crying is a free action.
And the it's because my kids and wife are asleep. I'm not actually gonna scream. But yeah, I'm yelling pretty loud.
Understand that one.
Help. Oh fuck. All right. Shit.
Kill it.
It's got a hold of me. Like I'm gonna.
Yeah, he's grabbed.
It's like I'm gonna try and escape.
Yeah, make the escape, please.
Is it just an unarmed
Athletics
strike?
or acrobatics, please?
Okay, fuck. Suck at both of those things. Oh.
Nope.
Yeah. Nope.
It holds on.
Let's try again.
It holds on. Is there anything for escape on a critical failure? Let's have a quick look.
Maybe I hurt myself more.
Critical failure. You don't get free and you cannot attempt to escape again until your next turn.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't going to.
Not that bad, but if you did it as your first action and you wanted more,
can
then...
I do like can I heal myself while I'm grappled?
So you have a flat check for anything that is in an interact. Drawing a potion and drinking a potion both have the interact trait.
Okay. Oh yeah, I don't have any pots.
Then there is no way to heal yourself, is there?
I meant like battle medicine.
Oh, you can... If you've got battle medicine.
Yeah.
I don't think you can use it on yourself, though.
Yeah, you can. Are you, yeah, so you have your healer's toolkit on you?
Yeah, I do.
Then it has the manipulate action. You'll need to pass a flat 5 check to succeed. And then the medicine check. So it's a flat 5, so straight D20, no modifiers. If you get 5 or above, you may then attempt the medicine. You may now attempt your medicine check.
Okay. Where is it? Fuck you.
You do not succeed.
Great. Oh, great. All right. That's all I got.
Attempt to check. Restore. Doesn't improve. Target is then immune to your battle medicine. Oh yeah. You're not battle medicine yourself again, unfortunately. Alright.
Yep.
Tunnel?
There you go, Lucas.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna say forget the... There you go, Going back to this one.
Rallying Anthem. We're getting AC and saving throws.
And AC and saving throws, and I'm just going to continue to play. Stand in the corner and play my loot.
Reskin.
Hopefully you guys will kill this thing soon.
Okay. I'm going to, let's see, move 5, 10, 35.
Nice.
Flanking it.
Yep, let me give it the off guard condition, please.
Okay.
There you go.
And then I will draw and strike with my rapier using quick draw.
Oh boy!
Yeah, that might do it.
All right, let's see it.
Yeah, that
Bam.
might do it.
Near death.
Oh my god. One more. Save my hide, man.
Stabby him again.
Oh,
I missed.
you did.
That's my turn.
Good turn.
Give a hero point if you want.
No.
Oh, yes, sir.
So, could I get you to draw a quick square or circle of the hut?
Yeah. Obviously, so...
I know, like, the front door is here. I can...
So, I have no idea, so I'm just going to make it up.
Good. I like that. That works.
Open the god.
Well, no, I just need to know because it's applicable.
We're going to do 4 by 4. Yeah.
Well, the problem is he's fascinated and frightened.
There you go. There's your hut.
Okay, so he's going to move around the side of the house, seeing if there's any windows along this side.
Yes. And they are not paned windows. They are holes.
Okay, where is it?
Right where you
Here,
are is
or
fine.
Here.
Yeah,
Okay.
right where you are.
So he'll look in the window and see if there's anyone in there.
Oh, yeah. So, metagaming now for everybody else, okay? Because you do not see what I'm about to reveal.
Okay.
Yemnix, or rather, Kasser,
Kessler sees this.
and not only that,
Oh, she's not human. That's for sure. At least I wouldn't think so with that.
it is a simple one-room affair. Oh, there you go. 20 foot in diameter, so I've done right. With a dirt floor and a thatched roof. The rafters are hung with dried herbs and swamp weeds, and there's a bubbling cauldron in the middle, right beside her, so in this location.
Okay.
Giving off some sort of aroma, broth aroma. That is what you can see in there.
Excuse me, ma'am. Would you be so kind as to disable the creature out here attempting to eviscerate my poor foolish companion?
So what I will tell you is she is currently bent over the cauldron and is mixing with some sort of mixing instrument. I am going to have you roll another check to determine how loudly you are speaking, and I'm going to have her make another check to see how closely she is paying attention.
Cross your fingers, everybody.
Boo.
Got a 20?
Sure did.
That's
Not
she's
sure enough to overcome her not listening or not, but
she will be like, what?
could you call off the scarecrow from killing my foolish companion, please?
He turns at this point and looks at you. He says, "You are inside the fence, dearie. You need to announce your presence before being inside the fence."
Okay. I am here. We've come in peace. Could you please call it off my friend who was foolish enough to step over the fence?
Says, "Wait there, dearie. I'll just deactivate the scarecrow so that it doesn't murder you out there."
Thank you.
He then walks to the door and opens the door, at which point everyone can see her. And she just raises like a single finger and points it directly at the scarecrow, and the scarecrow falls limp. End of encounter.
Okay.
and I'm still screaming and crying.
Yeah.
Am I still fascinated or not?
No.
That's part of what made that roll worse.
No. In fact, yeah, frightened and grabbed and all of those things.
That -2 on that just made it that much worse.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. I am sorry, we did not know about the protocol, and my friend is,
You are still inside the fence!
I said I was coming in. Do I need to say something particular, or just that I'm here? I did announce myself before stepping over the fence, as you instructed me.
She starts, like, doing this, like, shooing you.
My dear lady,
outside the fence.
may I speak with you?
He says, "Yes, you may now speak with me. Just raise your voice, honey."
Trying to see if he comes across intimidating while he uses his athletics to use his boisterous voice is kind of what I was saying. So intimidation was, does he come across
No.
scary when he raises his voice, followed by how capable is he of projecting his voice?
You don't have to yell, darling. I'm right here. No, you can go ahead.
Do you want me to raise my voice or not? I am trying.
You can go ahead.
Thank you for sparing my foolish friend. What is the protocol for entering? We did not wish to cause problems, but we did not know of this.
You must announce your presence before entering the fence line, or the scarecrow will attack you.
So we just say, we are here? Or is there something particular we're supposed to say?
I just stomp on the scarecrow a couple of times.
Declare your name and your intent upon proximity with the fence line.
Very good, very good. I will inform my companions of that. I do
who
thank
can
you.
absolutely hear her, as like no matter what distance they are from her.
God.
Mild
Madam,
shrill.
madam, we can hear you. Stop. May I address you, madam?
What was that about glue?
I am screaming this. May I address you?
Oh, yes, I'm right here.
I'm screaming this.
Yeah.
I apologize for lack of protocol. Forgive me.
She says, "Oh, yes. Okay,
I'm doing it myself. I love you.
I forgive you."
I'm just watching this exchange of screaming back and forth at each other
Ah,
Right.
it's
with this just look of utter
it's echoing in my
annoyance.
head like every time she talks.
on my face.
There's a grating voice.
What is your name, madam?
He says, "The folk round here call me Old Bell Dummy."
Is your name Old Beldamy, or do you prefer going by another title?
You may call me Old Bell Dummy.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Old Beldamy. What is it you do here?
I live.
Well, yes, but why is you do not live with other beings? Is there a reason that you've chosen to live the life of a hermit, is my query to you.
Yeah. He says, "I like my privacy."
I see. Well, we appreciate you disabling your security measures. Anything else you folks want to discuss with the fine lady before we move on?
I don't necessarily want to talk to the woman in the middle of the hag excuse me, the woman in the middle of the bog that I don't know. Obviously not human. Is there a check to make to identify race for nature? I'm assuming.
You can try. Yeah.
I'm assuming not human with,
Any recalled
claws and
knowledge.
green skin.
Any recall knowledge is fine.
That is purely a Cassier assumption, to be clear.
Yeah. Nice.
I have a +0 to that check, so that's
So, Tunnel, from what you can tell, she looks human other than that her skin is green. Maybe it's discoloration. Maybe there's something else there somewhere. But as far as you can tell, she's human.
okay.
Green skin.
Yeah. Maybe there's some sort of blood, or maybe she's been touched somehow, or maybe just born this way. Who knows?
Not a clue.
If she's human other than green skin, it means she probably has some sort of ancestry.
So, are you going to leave now?
Yes, I was seeing my fellows give a chance to talk. Is there anything you need before we depart?
I mean, I'd ask her if she needs anything done. Can we help you in any way, madam?
He says,
After you were screaming at her?
I have run out of black rattlecap mushrooms.
Reskin, do you know what those are? He's the one that specializes more in these plants than I
You
do.
can make a check for that. The either of your two that you normally do for cooking lore or think survival. Nice. Yeah. So black rattlecap mushrooms are very rare. They are used for many things, but you know of, but don't know the recipe for, a potent tea recipe. No, you've heard of it, but you haven't actually memorized.
Okay. But I know what to look for.
Yes.
Well, dear old Beldamain, I'm sure we'll be on the lookout for these.
Alright, so what she's going to do, I'm going to pop us to this map just for a second.
Well done, Malkov. That was an awesome roll.
Okay, so she is going to send you. Well, she directs you where you would most likely find these. That is here.
Okay.
So kind of the opposite way to what we're going again. She said, if you can bring back black rattlecap mushrooms, I will pay you 5 gold pieces for each one you bring intact.
Very well. Have a great day, lady. So it looks like there's a... Does that actually crossable or not? It looks like there's a narrow section right there.
I'll
Just
have
out
to
of curiosity.
research that for next time, please.
Yep. No, it's fine. It's just to know if we have to go all the way around, have boats, or what. So
I imagine that we can probably cross there.
I'm not swimming.
I do think you guys said you wanted to head back and talk to the Dryad and then deal with our enemy. I believe. Yes, no. Jenkins is so.
What I will do for the purposes of this is she will, as you gather your things, says, if you need, there is a big rock to the south of this hut, and it's in the shape of a fist with its middle finger pointing up. Under that rock is a little canoe. I'm not sure if you'll all fit in it at once, but it will allow you to cross.
Thank you.
Just
I
don't
appreciate
get it stuck in the mud.
Lovely.
And put it back where you found it.
Very well, madam. Very well.
And it could probably do with a polish.
Right. I don't think we have any polish on us, but we'll keep our eyes open.
I'm just going to keep going and walking away from that statement.
I will stop yelling now.
Have a nice evening, madam. It was nice to meet you, old Beldamain.
She just closes the door.
As we back away. Okay.
All right.
So that was interesting.
Not backing away. I just turn around and walk away.
So you have a bunch of choices. We are coming up to the
remaining.
end of our session here pretty soon.
What?
So, yeah. If we just maybe make some decisions about what we want to do first next time, and we'll start to wrap up and find someone to here. Obviously,
So
if there's
that we
anything
can do
else you want to do right here in this area, you can. But that is... We're looking to wind down.
Yeah. That's what I was asking them. Do you guys want to go for the feather tokens and then the
Yeah.
Yeah,
ugly mutant in the water?
I'm far more interested in helping the forest regrow and whatnot than just going to get mushrooms for money.
Cool. All right. So next time we're gonna. I imagine that. I mean, it's up to you. So, do you want to traverse the way that you've already gone, or do you want to go directly west to get that last hex in this area before moving on?
Yeah, I think going west would probably be ideal because it's got 2 hexes on our way to the Dryad.
Yep. So you can sort of cover those on your way. All right. I need to go into the journal here and tick some time because you guys have been exploring. You do realize as you walk away from the hut that it's starting to get towards nighttime. It's not quite yet. You've got probably
we should probably look for that.
an hour or two before it gets dark. But dusk is probably on its way soon, and you're starting to feel a bit peckish, especially upon the scent of the whatever is cooking in her cauldron. So look towards that. We have an idea of what we want to do next time, so that's fantastic. I hope you've all enjoyed the session. Anything final before we wrap up from you guys? Me pass on by you. Make sure that we've got everyone.
And thank you everybody that came tonight, and thank you for the raid and everything.
Yes,
Very, very
absolutely.
happy with all that.
Oh. Which
Indeed.
we go to look for RPs. We've got Perception Studio. We've got Lancer. Someone playing Lancer. Heck yeah. Let's go. Alright, so I'm gonna
What's
raid.
Lancer?
It's a tabletop role-playing game. You can find out more about it. I don't know too much about it, but it's cool. I've heard it around the
Okay.
traps. I'll look it up and a little.
That's all good.
So we're gonna pop up a raid.
You said awesome, so I thought you knew.
Yeah, look, I love seeing and supporting any tabletop RPG, and the ones that are less popular, I'm all for like people getting in and doing them because we need to see more. Like, fantastic. So I fully support that.
Variation is ideal.
I mean, I love that like somebody took the time to homebrew a Mass Effect into like based on D&D 5e.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's just
We love the
nice.
tabletop role-playing game community. That's why we're here. I'm gonna pop us to our ending screen and then catch up with these fine folks. Guys, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate you. Please look after yourselves as we head off. Be responsible and be kind to one another. Until next time, this is Matt in a Hat signing off. And off to the raid. Here we go.